What's going on, YouTube? This your boy Rob C. Alright, I'm about to cut my hair, do me a bald mid fade, just right around here. And I'm gonna show, you have a lot of barbers who are great barbers, but a lot of them don't cut their own hair. And I'm gonna show you how I do it when I cut my own hair. Alright, so if you've never done it before, maybe this will be a pretty good tutorial for you to kind of get some tips from, and maybe you start doing it on your own. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Peace. Yo, I've been waiting to drop this. Here I'm gonna start off by going ahead and balding out with my gold FX trimmers. So that's what you see me doing here. In this video, man, I was trying to get at the beginning, trying to get used to using both mirrors, the mirror I'm holding in my hand, the mirror behind me, as well as look at the mirror in the camera. Look in the camera to make sure that I was getting it all on film, because I didn't want to get caught up and to cut my hair and forget to make sure and check the camera. So at the beginning here, I was just trying to figure out how I was gonna do it, and then I eventually got a rhythm. So here I'm just taking my gold FX and I'm just balling out on my mid-ball fade. Check it out. These Babyliss FX trimmers are awesome, man. They are awesome. If you notice, all I'm doing is I'm making sure that the blade is flat against my skin, if you see. And that's how I get my nice stroke without, these are zero gap, but they're not too short where they'll cut me. But still, around my neck area, I just give me a rhythm, but I make sure that the blade is flat against my skin to make sure I don't get nicked or anything like that because of it. So that's what that is. Here I'm going to take my Red Babyliss clippers with the 1 guard, and I'm just basically trimming my head down. And as you notice, I'm looking in the mirror, realizing you can't really see much on camera now. Try to adjust it a little bit, and I'm just trimming it down with a 1. That's the length, my desired length. I'm thinning a little bit at the top, but I got a little magic for that. But just trimming it down, trimming it down. Here I'm gonna use my Babyliss FX screen shapers to go ahead and to make sure I get it as close as possible. But here, one thing I'm not doing is I'm not heavy-handed. I'm not pressing down. I'm just gently, especially around my neck area and behind the ears, because that's where, if you're too aggressive, if you're too heavy-handed, you may have a tendency of bumping up. And you can see I'm just using my hand, just kind of touching to see how close it is. And I like it the way it is, and that's my purpose of doing that. I take my Red Babyliss FX clippers, and they are midway, they're open midway, and I just create my line going all the way around. Here, I'm gonna put my one guard on, and I'm just gonna go up about an inch to kind of create my little fade on both sides. One side, you know, you always typically, I'm right-handed, and I don't know on this, well, on the camera you can tell that I'm right-handed, and what would that be? Yeah, my right side typically seems a bit easier, obviously. And I just go and I just kind of create about an inch all the way up to kind of get the transition point faded. Then I go in with my half guard and I try to blend those two lines in, going all the way around. So it's a process to make sure you get the type of blend that I want. I didn't want it to be too high, and this is the reason why I have a target area where I'm not trying to go past. And I use that half guard to kind of blend the first two lines that I created. And just flick out, make sure that you're looking at it. Here's my half guard where I blend in the two lines. Just look, there it is. You can kind of see it kind of coming together. You see it coming together. I do the same thing on the other side, and I get me a rhythm going, and sometimes I forget that I'm videoing, or I just want to make sure that I'm doing the right step and not get sidetracked and forget. So check out the back. Here I have my Babyliss clippers. I have it is closed all the way, and I'm trying to flick out that first initial line. And because I use my my Babyliss trimmers, that line may be a bit difficult to kind of get out because those trimmers are zero gap, but my clippers are not zero gap. And so you'll see me kind of make adjustments, and this is like midway. To flick out the line, I close it all the way, but as I go up, I adjust the leveler so that I don't create another line. You can see right there. So I'm trying to flick out the line. I adjust the leveler a little bit. You can see it's like midway, kind of get those first two lines faded in without raising the fade. And the way my hair grows is the reason why I'm cutting at that particular angle. Right here, I'm taking my gold FX trimmers and I'm slightly trying to flick out that initial line that I made. And I'm just barely just kind of flicking at it. Not too much pressure. Make sure I don't go up too much. And make sure that the initial line that was made is gone. Take your time when you're doing this, because if you're not, you'll raise it up, you'll create another line, which means you're gonna have to bring your fade up even higher. Here, taking my Babyliss clippers, and I'm just kind of trying to blend. It's like midway, and I keep adjusting the lever so that you can get the blend without creating another line or without going too high. And that's basically all I'm doing, because my hair grows all kind of ways. And so here's my one, and I'm kind of going up about an inch or so to kind of get rid of the dark area and to start to blend it. I use that all the way around. Brush. I just keep flicking up about an inch. And then I'll go through with my 1.5 to kind of blend that in. But as you see, I have a target area. Here I'm taking my one guard, I have it open all the way, and I'm kind of going against the grain to make sure that I don't cut too much, because I don't want my fade to be too high. I like to put my little part there, so I don't want it to be too high, so I'm just kind of, I have it all the way open and just kind of flicking up, not past the part. I'm not even gonna go past the part here so much. And then I take a bigger guard, and you can see what I'm doing here. You just kind of get that nice blend going in, and you adjust the level as you go. Check it out. Now here, I'm taking my one guard, and I'm gonna start trying to blend in the back. This is always my favorite part. I know some people who cut their hair, they don't like doing the back. They feel like it's too much of a challenge. The only challenge I'm having with this right now is the fact that I'm trying to make sure that I get it on video. The back part, to make sure, the best thing you can do is always go against the grain, but make sure you don't take off too much hair. All right, so I got my one guard. My hair is not that long, so I know that I can kind of go against the grain here a little bit, and to get that nice blend from the light area to the dark area. And as you see on the other side, it's kind of difficult because of the camera, but on this side you can see that I'm kind of just going against the grain a little bit. not too high. And the most important part about going against the grain, you have to make sure that you brush. So sometimes you'll see me go against the grain a little bit, and then I'll go with the grain to kind of make sure that it's looking the way that I want it to look. You see, I'm going with the grain here. It's kind of like brushing it, sort of way. Then I go against the grain. Looking at the mirror is not gonna lie to you. So just make sure you trust the mirror, trust your hands, and you know, here I got my half guard to make sure I'm blending it in. To make sure you kind of do some fine tuning to make sure that you don't have too many dark areas. So just watch me play with it. Here I'm gonna take my one guard and just trim down my beard a little bit. Just trim it down to a nice length. That way I can edge it and shave it underneath. Just going with the grain. Here, this is my holding spray. You can use holding spray of whatever kind. I spray it on my forehead, so when I get ready to edge up in a minute, it'll have a nice crisp hardness to it or whatnot. And I just kind of let it sit there. I don't use a blow dryer or anything like that. Here I'm just trying to blend in my sideburns of my beard, going into the fade a little bit. So my blade is kind of midway. It's not closed all the way. I don't want it to be too close. And I use my half guard to kind of like blend it in. So you can kind of play with that as you go. And that's what I'm doing here. Here, got my trimmers, and this is, some people might want to take it lower. Some people may even want to hide. This is the exactly where I want it to be. And I use it to create my line going all the way across. And when I start to actually shave it, you're gonna see exactly what I did when it came to balding out, especially on the back of my head. That blade is flat against my skin. It's flat against my skin. I get a nice stroke going to make sure that I don't cut myself or anything, especially going down. It's flat against my skin. And that's a tip that you could use. Make sure that it's flat when you're doing it. And then you go behind it to make sure that you clean up any areas with your shavers and get it close as you want to. And I like it close, so that's what you're gonna see me do here. And here I just kind of make sure that it's lined up the way I want it. And just edge and go. if you're probably wondering, like, why am I not looking in the camera when I'm doing my beard? It's because when you look in the camera, I can use that as my mirror, but it's delayed a little bit, and that kind of threw me off, is what I was noticing. So that's why I look in the mirror, and here I am with my shavers to make sure that I get it as close as I want it. And I was also running out of a little camera time, so I had to make sure that I tried to speed up the process without trying to necessarily compromise the haircut within itself. So just trying to make it work. And here I'm just using my razor. Pull the skin. Again, you can barely see me doing, but I'm pulling the skin with the other hand, if you can tell. And at a 45-degree angle, I'm just kind of barely tapping it while pulling the skin. Pulling the skin is very important. You have to be able to do that if you want to use a razor. You can see with the other hand, I'm just pulling the skin up while I'm shaving down. Here I'm starting my edge process, and the holding spray has the hair kind of exactly what I wanted. It's been a couple minutes, and I'm just barely tapping as I edge, just barely tapping. One of the reasons why I've always been inspired to cut my hair, because I honestly don't think nobody can cut your hair like you want it to be cut, especially as a barber. But for whatever reason, I've been told by a lot of barbers, they be amazed that I actually cut my own hair. I can honestly say, in the past 20 years, I've been in a barbershop maybe a handful of times, to be honest. Maybe a handful of times. And once the finishing product, you'll see kind of why. So I'm just tapping, making sure I don't go too high or too far back. On the other side, I'm actually putting my part in, and of course I couldn't. So I try to give you a little view in the camera, but the camera is slightly delayed. That's why I really couldn't get that part done. And the Babyliss trimmers, they are awesome. They're excellent. But I noticed that I don't necessarily, when it comes to putting a part in my head, they get the line there, but it is very, very thin. So I have to kind of go through with some other trimmers and try. And here's my Tomb 45 no drip color enhancement that I use to kind of fill in the little thin areas I have on the top of my head. So I put it in this is my PACINOS cordless air compressor. PACINOS, P-I-N-C-O-S, and it works just like the Tomb 45. It's just something I had to get, and it's reasonable. It's about 130 bucks. And I use my what is this, Haircut by Sean card that I use to kind of do it, and so to kind of use the color enhancement to make sure that I get a crisp line. And the color enhancement by Tomb 45 is excellent. I use it all the time, and it fills in those thin areas, and I just kind of spray. If I don't take my hair and make it bald or whatnot, but you can use it on your beard and kind of comb it in a little bit. This is just my little strategy on what I do. here, I kind of forgot all about the camera. I'm locked in right here when you do your head. And I kind of go back through it with my razor to make sure I get it like I want it. Here I'm using a razor. On the other side, when I get to the side where you can see on the camera, you'll see where I kind of pull the skin. You have to be able to pull the skin to use it, as I stated before. And you see it, I can kind of, I'm pulling it. I pull up, I shave down very lightly. And if you're not comfortable with it, you know, that takes practice. I didn't just start doing that overnight, so. That to kind of get the real fine thin hairs and to get it nice and crisp. You can see, there it is. I'm checking out my part. I gotta like my part. My little thin areas on top of my head are not as thin. I saw a little area that I wasn't desired, I didn't like, so I just kind of sprayed a little bit more. Yeah. You know, this is to my liking somewhat. Check out the fade. Trying to hurry up and get before my camera goes dead. And that's what you have. H-time. Here I am in the spring of 2019, winning the first Houston annual barber competition, and I placed first and second place in 2 different competitions. Thanks for watching.